So we're back at it again. Coilovers. We started and it was really nice because this one came right out. Well, we had a mishap. Did the exact same thing with this one. The strut slides into this knuckle and there's like basically like a clamp there with a big bolt, and it broke off. So, yay, suspension. I had to pull that whole thing out so I could work on it without wanting to do bad things. And so we're getting ready to try and drill this thing out. I just want to start it there just to say like, oh yeah, we're doing great, you know. So once we get this thing out, the fronts will be ready to go in. But yeah, it's been amazing. Like 5, I think, of coilovers. This side is done and in, thankfully. So I was gonna do the passenger side before, that way I knew how it all worked, and then do the driver's side more on film. So for these coilovers, you got the 3 nuts on top here. The bottom here slides into this and gets clamped. This is our bolt that broke. Luckily, my uncle works at like a tool and die company, and he has some nice equipment at work. He was able to get that bolt drilled out for me. I wasn't able to do it at home by myself, so thankfully he was able to do that. So typically you just take this and the top 3 bolts there, and then you've got your sway bar link that goes through this guy. So 13 mils. This bolt here is an 18, and then you have to get fancy with this guy, and there's a Allen head with a 16 that goes through here. So I am just getting ready to finish putting that back together. I won't have a bolt yet, but I can go ahead and get the coilover and everything like slid through. And yeah, then we'll do the rear and she'll be almost ready to go. Should have 100% done this before I put this knuckle back in, but as you can see there, got our threads cleaned out nice and good, and it looks like I took off a lot more than I really did, because this thing has been the other bolt didn't actually go all the way through, so it's kind of crusty inside there. It actually went in super easily, but I was thankfully able to get that to go in no problem. So once I get another bolt, I will be ready to go. This side is all done. I'll be able to put this bolt in and throw the wheel on. I'll be good to go. Look at what we have here. Good old Rule King supplying me with that nice red bolt there. She's all secure. Put the wheels on, see what she looks like. All right, I don't know if you guys are ready for this. I just got the last coilover put on. I put all the wheels on. There's a pretty high chance we're gonna have to raise this because it actually sits lower to the ground than my car. Like underneath the car is lower to the ground than my car. It looks so freaking good though. These wheels were really pokey before, but with like the natural camber of the coilovers, they actually sunk in a little bit. But this, I have to figure out how to mount this thing better. It freaking pops right off. Yeah, she's a little close there. This side was already rubbing, as you could tell, because it was pushed in from that side swipe damage. But I think if we get rid of this little lip right here, I think we'll be all right. And I have to obviously, I'm gonna test drive it quite a bit before, which I have plenty of time before she is gonna be having the car. But I just want to make sure that everything is like good. Maybe like if it rubs a little bit, okay, but I don't want it to rub like a crap ton, and I definitely don't want it to bottom out on anything. Because she's never driven a lowered car on the street. So yeah, I think suspension wise, obviously the fender liner's gonna have to go a little bit there, but it might miss the metal. But either way, we might have to go ahead and raise it because it's pretty low, maybe like 4 inches or so. In the front where the oil pan is. So yeah, thankfully everything ended up working out with the rest of it, and it looks so good. Our first voyage, this side is a little bit lower than the other side, which is not terrible. We can deal with that. Oh, it's not far off. It's kind of hard to tell. This side's dark. But we hit this guy coming in. I need to trim the insides of these because they're definitely rubbing. But yeah, I gotta figure out how I'm gonna mount these rear ones. Probably maybe just try and pull this lip a little bit. I just don't want it to mess with how the flares are actually mounted. And no, I don't have the bumper on. I have the little inside pieces to still wrap. But yeah, you guys can see the other quarter is done now, so it's basically all white. And we're all the way lowered. And yeah, it will settle some, but it wasn't terrible. We should, like, I didn't really hear anything besides the actual like flares rubbing. So if we trim those a little bit, just the lips of them, I think we'll be good. But yeah, she's driving, so I'm freaking stoked. Yep, she settled pretty quick on the way home there. I already wiped a lot of it off the top here, but it was like a whole dust. Broke this clip right here, which luckily is one I got a bunch of the replacements for. Or actually, we broke more than one. But yeah, we'll go ahead and trim these lips in here and have a little bit more. Hopefully that'll give us enough that we'll be able to still run these and not have to do anything crazy.